Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Dritte Liga. Tonight we're in southwest Germany's Black Forest for the match between Freiburg 2 and Borussia Dortmund 2, the final game of the weekend. Dreisam Stadion, as you can see, quite full to its impressive capacity of around 24,000. But those in attendance hoping for a great game of football on a chilly Sunday evening in Freiburg im Breisgau. Thomas Stamm rings the changes for struggling Freiburg. There are fewer than 7 of them from the final game of 2023. Only Serge Müller, Julian Stark, Mika Bauer and Ryan Niels Johansson return from the previous starting lineup. Meanwhile, it's just the 3 changes for Jan Zimmermann. Oye Bueno, Falco Mikkel and suspended Patrick Goebel, replaced by Leon Simic, Samuel Bamba and Ted Tatamush, in what would appear to be something like a 4-2-3-1 setup, maybe a 4-3-3. Will become more obvious as the game progresses. Managers do like to keep each other guessing. One thing that's for certain is the presence of Benjamin Uphoff in the Freiburg goal. Freiburg haven't really had a clear first choice keeper this season. Sebastian Hornung, Yasso Jantunen, Nicholas Sorta, Benjamin Uphoff and Lauren Mack. He's now moved to the US, all featured between the sticks at some point this season. Hornung played the final 2 games of 2023 before 18-year-old Finn Jantunen had a stint in goal this evening. It is the man with the number 1 on his back, Uphoff, who returns to goalkeeping duties. Dortmund travelled the best part of 500 kilometres south to be here tonight. They're miles apart in the standings too. Dortmund safely enough in mid-table in 11th, whilst Freiburg are rock bottom, becoming increasingly adrift of the other teams from the drop zone. Assad Nuhum, the referee this evening. 29 years old, very young in refereeing terms. Experienced though, he's been a 4th official in the second tier and the DFB Pokal, had a very eventful game in the latter. 3-3 draw between Unterhaching and Fortuna Düsseldorf, which somehow ended up 6-3 by the end of extra time. 9 goals wouldn't go amiss this evening, certainly for the neutrals, or if they're going the way of your team, for the fans watching on. And goals not totally unexpected, not unrealistic. 12 in Dortmund's last 5 games, 20 in Freiburg's last 5. There will now be a moment's silence before the game for German legend, World Cup winner Franz Beckenbauer. And now, on with the serious business. What remains a somewhat eerily quiet Dreisam Stadion. These players Won't let that bother them. They'll create the atmosphere, one would hope, with the quality of the football. But Freiburg do have a point to prove. They've surely been optimistic about the coming campaign. It's been an astonishing fall from grace after finishing as runners-up last year. Just 1 point off champions SV Elversberg. Winless run in their opening 5 matches left them bottom of the pile with just 2 points and set the tone for the coming months. They've managed just 2 victories from their first 20 games. 2-0 win over Arminia Bielefeld in September and a 1-0 win over Lübeck in October. However, every other result in those 2 months was a defeat. And picked up just 1 point in November and none in December. Now on a run of 9 defeats from the last 10 and 12 of their last 14. Can they do anything about that this evening? As we get underway, the referee has blown his whistle. And the final game of matchday 21 is go between Freiburg 2 and Borussia Dortmund 2. Freiburg in their traditional red and white, shooting from left, or right to left, rather, I should say, as we watch on in this first 45. Dortmund in all black with a touch of that traditional yellow. Well, rays of hope at least for Freiburg after a 2-2 draw to start this year in their friendly with Waldhof Mannheim. Dortmund's first 2 games of 2024 haven't been so good. Also friendlies, 3-1 loss to Hansa Rostock and a draw with 4th tier Fortuna Cologne. Their season's been a mixed bag, really. 7 wins, 7 draws, 5 losses. Another middling season for one of Germany's biggest club's B teams. They finished 2023 in decent form, at least 7 points from their final 3 games, including important wins over 1860 Munich and Halle, with all 3 clubs formerly teetering above the drop zone. They've moved clear of that now into mid-table. Look to push on, pick up where they left off at the end of last year. A few cobwebs to dust off maybe after the winter break. I'm sure no festive pounds to shed. These are top athletes and professionals. Sometimes takes a little time to get back into the swing of league football. I'm sure a few early touches here are important for both sets of players. Settle the nerves. The early adrenaline. The home side have had most of the ball in these first few minutes, which is a promising sign for them. Let's have to look at this as a clean slate in 2024, see what they can do. That's a lovely turn by Junior Adamu. And they create something here. Ball in, it's back towards Adamu. It's over his head, but back with Lundqvist. He puts it in. And it was Adamu with the header. Over the bar in the end. But good signs from the home side, which earns a ripple of applause around the stadium. Onto the roof of the net from the Nigerian-born Austria international. Joined from RB Salzburg this summer. 6 in 14 during 2021. Loan to St. Gallen. He scored 10 last season for Salzburg. Hasn't been quite so amongst the goals though in Germany. Has been playing with the senior side 12 times in the Bundesliga, yet to find the net there. Did though score an assist in the Europa League, a win over Serbian side TSC. An early sighter for him there. Strong tackle. Dortmund will look to break. Hetva can't quite keep it in. good idea, and the space was there, but Julian Hetfer not quite quick enough. Bits picks out Ryan Niels Johansson. And now Adamu on the right. On the end of a strong tackle from Leon Semic. One of those new names in the Dortmund side. Up into the air, aerial battle. And it's sent skywards again. Signed by Mika Bauer. Jungbits sticks it back on the turf. It's broken kindly. Oli Polman. Little shimmy from Samuel Bamba. Took him towards the 6-yard box. Good covering from the Freiburg back line. It was Julian Stark back to bail out his defender. Good work from Philipp Farner to prevent the goal kick and then in the end win a free kick of his own. And Freiburg will be able to push back up the pitch now. Any promising signs though for Thomas Stamm, watching on the touchline. Nearly into Adamu again. Have to ensure not to be caught on the counter though by the Dortmund side with pace. Longo Yombo, another alongside Bamba. It will test the speed of the Freiburg defenders wherever they can. Last season really did look like it was a continuation of Freiburg's strong upward trajectory. It's a lovely ball into the box. The trajectory in this game might improve. It's over the head of Adamu. Let's initially wayward that pass, but found its way through. Pressing high. It's been a committed start from Freiburg. And win it back again. Lungwitz. Looking to keep possession here. Not rushing things. Joel Bixel canters forwards. Lovely ball forwards, taken down brilliantly by Bauer. Back heel into the path of Lungwitz. He breaks the spinning shot from Adamu. Didn't really get the connection he was looking for. Involved in everything in this opening 10 minutes. Junior Adamu. Took it away from the defender nicely, but then almost twisting on the spot, miss-hitting. Dortmund survive, still on level terms. There was that ball from Bauer, which found its way all the way through to Fana. His ball not quite as good as that of his midfielder, though. Yes, that Freiburg upward trajectory. Promoted as champions of the 5th tier in 2017 and then champions of the 4th tier in 2021. Solid mid-table finish in 2022, 11th place, and pushed on to almost take the title last year. They're actually briefly in position at the top of the live standings on the final match day, only for Nick Woltermad to restore Elversberg's lead, and as they lifted the trophy in the end. This season will have been a real shock to the system. They haven't given up hope. Thomas Stamm in his pre-match press conference pointed out that there have been strong comebacks in the 3rd division in recent years. Might be referring to Bayern Munich 2's 2019-20 campaign. And finished the first half of the season in 15th. Still became champions. But it's a huge ask for Stamm and Freiburg. Fact is, never in the history of the Dritte Liga has the team gone into the winter break with just 9 points. So never before has the team managed to catch up with such a big deficit. They'd need at least 11 wins from the remaining 18 games in order to reach the accepted target for safety of around 43 points. Usually enough to avoid relegation. Basically, they have to score like a promotion candidate from now on. A win tonight, surely a must. They have to set the tone for what would be an extraordinary comeback. They've started well. And they'll have a free kick here as well. Fabian Rudlin. It's caught late, first to the ball. Franz Fana, guilty party. Shrug from the defender. Promising position this. Bauer and Rudlin standing over the ball. As those in the stadium do start to make some noise in expectation. Two-man wall. Requested by Marcel Lotka. He's just about within shooting range if either Bauer or Rudlin were feeling ambitious. Good options as well, lined up along the 18-yard line. Six or seven players there, waiting for the perfect delivery. It's Rudlin, and it is a shot. It's well held by Marcel Lotka. Not a bad strike, but far too close to the keeper. Spoke about the number of keepers used at Freiburg. Lotka has had the position pretty much on lockdown, 22-year-old. Played 16 of the 19 games, had been ever present to serve a 4-match suspension after picking up a red card deep into stoppage time for the match with Ingolstadt. Hansen. Rudlin looks to return it to Johansson, but it's cut out. Dortmund once again look to break. On Semic. It's it out. The shot from range doesn't really threaten Benjamin Uphoff. Bowman fancying a sighter. before the quarter-hour mark. Never afraid to take it on from range. Has scored 4 in 18 to become the second top scorer in the squad. That one not particularly close to becoming number 5. Once Dortmund slowly building from the back. It's all been counter-attacked. First 15. Launched towards Samuel Bamba. It's kept alive. It might drop here. Taken off the toes of Ted Tatamush. They are bouncing in the crowds. Freiburg fans. A few of them anyway. Keep them warm. Yeah, winter break may have ended. Winter may be over in terms of German football, but in terms of the conditions, very much not. About 3 degrees, not quite as cold as it has been in the past couple of weeks. It's still pretty chilly for those in the stands. Freiburg look to heat things up on the pitch, at least. Ball forwards is dealt with by Tatamush. Very tall for a fullback, 1.94 metres. Can play on the wing as well. It's, I think, his favoured position. It's mostly been operating at fullback for Freiburg this season. Dortmund, rather. Longo Yombo. Bamba has Hetver. Acres of space. Did the offside flag. Gone up against Bamba, though. Still really looking to get a foothold in this match. Clearly wasn't an offside. Maybe the referee played advantage, would appear. Back for a Dortmund free kick. Runs Rog out, sends it down the right wing. Tatamush is up by the corner flag, waiting for support. Waiting for the cavalry to arrive. It does in the shape of Ayman Azil. He wants the corner, he can only get the throw. Flicked on by Perlman, nearly dropped for Longo Yombo. That was the intention. He would have taken it. Niels Johansson, one way or another, finds Junior Adamu as well. Good strength to hold on to the ball. Johansson. Stark dropping very deep. Almost a third centre-back. Johansson, first cross blocked. Another bite of the apple. Out for a throw. It's in towards Adamu again. Dealt with by Dortmund more convincingly this time, and they look to capitalise. Countering again. Hetver looking to flick it on to a Longo Yombo. Yombo Free kick there. No such luck, and Bixel just lets it bobble out for a throw. Well claimed by Uphoff. Pleased to be back on keeper duty. As mentioned, it was Sebastian Hornung in the final 2 games of 2023. They were the first 2 appearances of his senior career. Conceded 6 goals though. Jantunen had a very impressive debut, 18-year-old Finn. Clean sheet, 2-0 win. Rarity this season for Freiburg. He could then concede 4 in his next game though. 6 appearances in all for him. He was on the bench for the senior Freiburg team's Europa League game with West Ham. There is Hornung on the bench today watching on. It's Uphoff. Shows why he has the number 1 jersey. Leaves it to Uphoff. Fairly cautious first almost quarter of the game. Understandably, perhaps, need to find their rhythm again after the winter break in Freiburg. I mean that they really do have to win this game if they stand any hope of saving themselves from relegation. Carry on as they were 2023. It's the second half of it. Now we have another opportunity to put the ball into the box here. Nils Johansson. October. Very unlikely to see a shot this time, so will surely be one of the 7 waiting in the middle. Get on the end of this from Patrick Lienhardt. Lienhardt whips it in, it's headed on. Over the bar. But ahead of his man. Julian Stark. Couldn't guide it past Marcel Lotka. It's for Hetfer. Actual chance snuffed out though by Freiburg. Could really come to anything. Hansen leaves it. It's nicked off the toe of Rudlin. Sliding tackle, fair one. Freiburg are breaking here. Lungwitz carries on. Shot though, dragged wide. I think it was a shot. It was an attempted cross. It was a long way beyond rushing Adamu. But again, not bad signs here from Freiburg. Dortmund were the slight favourites, according to the bookmakers. Not a huge amount in it, but unsurprisingly the bottom side not favoured, even on home soil. Had more of the ball and more of the half chances. Or two, which you could probably call full chances. Hector again. And some running practice. Miscommunication. Pixel gives away a throw. He's waiting for Bits to go to his right. Makes some Enzo as tempers flare between himself and Perlman. Perlman not appreciating the easing off the pitch from Joel Bixel. Referee will have a word with them both now. Bixel scored in the 2-0 win over Armenia. It's his only goal of the season, unsurprisingly, for a centre-back. He's a threat, though. Set pieces with his height. Now, threat for open play. He's down with Adamu. Waits for support. Rudlin. It's into the middle. It's gathered up by Lotka. It's a big opportunity there. 3-on-2. It looked like slowed down slightly. Adamu. Bad to worse. Doesn't make the most of the opportunity and then picks up a yellow card. The first booking of the game. Presumably trying to block goalkeeper. See that. Not making life particularly easy for Marcel Lotka. From that angle, maybe looked a little harsh. It was just running in a straight line, of course, aiming for the goalkeeper. Imagine Lotka may have gone down after. Together with Alongo Yombo, stands on his feet, flips the ball, it's now out, Lungwitz. It's again Stark, the furthest outfield player back. It's for the raking quarterback pass, didn't come off on that occasion. struggling to clear their lines though. Johansson switching from wing to wing. Started on the left, went to the right, now back on the left, if not in the middle. Clearly something of a free roll given to the Ireland international, as he will be. He was born in Luxembourg to a Swedish father and Irish mother. He had represented all three countries at international youth level. In 2019, announced that he pledged his future to Ireland. Has received clearance from FIFA to switch allegiance a couple of years ago. In the air, impressively by Alexander Lundqvist. Lundqvist wanted to throw. Saying how unlikely is it I'm going to beat Tatimus to that, but linesman had the best view. Couple of pretty anonymous seasons for Dortmund. 11th currently. Mixed bag, as I said before, kick-off. It was a different kind of anonymous last season. Almost all or nothing. Just 6 draws on that occasion. 19 losses was the most of any club outside the bottom 3. As they finished again in mid-table. Generally a team to yo-yo between the 3rd and 4th tiers in recent years. This is their 3rd season back in the Dritte Liga after winning the Regionalliga West in 2021. Their 9th place finish season before last was their highest since 2003. Had some notable managers during those times. David Wagner, and promotion to the 3rd tier in 2012 before moving on to Huddersfield, who will take to the Premier League for the very first time in a short and successful period at Schalke. He's now at Norwich, which is where another notable former boss, Daniel Farke, headed after his spell with Dortmund too, placing Wagner in 2015. He spent last season coaching Borussia Dortmund and is now at Leeds, again in England. Plenty of heritage, and Jan Zimmerman will to his impressive career of his own off the back of his job here. So far though, this evening his team really haven't quite been at it. The wayward ball forwards there. See if he deems some changes necessary at half-time. He hopes a team talk, a stern one, you'd imagine, will suffice. Another young manager. Both of them are early 40s. Zimmerman 44, Thomas Stamm 40. Zimmerman started his managerial career young, actually a player manager, just 32. Worked his way up the lower divisions before getting a shot big time with Hanover. He was sacked after 6 months. Took a year out before taking over from Christian Preußer at Dortmund 2. Now rebuilding his reputation. Svanna cuts that out. It would have sailed comfortably through to Lock Cup, one would imagine, but captain taking charge. Safety first. Now can they create something down the other end? Burst of pace, but too much pace on the ball. Heavy touch from Leon Semic. Now the summing up. Must have Dortmund's attacks. Trying to rush it forwards on the counter. And a clumsy touch somewhere along the line, generally letting them down. Brought in the absence of Bueno. He's been excellent this season. The 21-year-old Spaniard extended his contract through to 2026 late last year. Had played in every game up until this one. It's an identical twin brother. Hugo Bueno currently plays in the Premier League in England for Wolverhampton. Simic debutising. He's not inexperienced, the left back. Has one appearance for the senior team as well. Represented Germany at numerous youth levels. And he's also eligible to represent Bosnia and Herzegovina. Johansson looking to put Simic through his paces on that right wing. Back on the left with Lundqvist again though. This is where they've had most of their joy. Can Mika Bauer do with it? Never afraid to put the ball at his feet. He lays it up. It was teed up nicely for Lienhardt. But the captain slicing his effort. Captain on the day is Sandrino Braun Schumacher, who is the squad club captain. He's on the bench. Just one substitute appearance so far this season. It was not long before the winter break. Hope for some more game time in 2024. He's 35 now though. Experienced central defensive midfielder. Over 400 senior club appearances. Fana tries to return it to him, but Hansen wasn't there, hadn't made the run. Simic tidies up. It's given away by Rogau. Can Adamu capitalise? No, plays it behind. He had so many runners there. 5 Freiburg attackers barreling forwards. Laid it behind all of them. Wasteful, and they can't afford to be wasting those kind of chances. They've had a couple where they've had the opportunity to capitalise. Really come to anything. Dortmund will punish them if they fail to find the net. As mentioned, there have been goals in both these sides' recent games. Freiburg conceding most of theirs, whilst Dortmund scored a fair few. Looking to break the deadlock here. It's given away by Bowman. Rasmus versus Inhart. Checks back, retains possession, passing it off to Lungvitz. It's all the way back to his keeper. Rogau, they're wiped out. He's back to his feet though. Interception. Again going for that chip towards the longer combo, but it hasn't been working. Into the final 5 minutes. And truthfully, still waiting for the first real chance of note. Can it come now? Johansson. Back to Johansson. It's a nice little reverse pass. Bauer stopped in his tracks. And we see another Dortmund counter. Pixel stops it and tries to casually make his way back to his defensive position. No booking, just a word in the air from the referee. Either find an opener for halfway mark would be, as the cliche goes, an excellent time to score. Force the opposition manager to rip up their team talk. Would be a real gut punch for Freiburg, having been mostly comfortable in this half. If they were to concede late on. Adamu, you pick out a better pass this time. Good hold-up play, but again, the pass lacking. Told a little bit short, and here come Dortmund. Ilongo Yombo tries his luck from range, outside the area at least. Straight into the torso of Joel Bixel. And Zimmerman. Youth product of Bayer Leverkusen as a player, actually playing for teams including Mönchengladbach to Lübeck and Werl, of course. On to manage, but as well, as mentioned, side's corner, almost a nothing. Create something there. Again, no. Arpov claims comfortably. Sends it long. Power challenging. Semic does enough. Hear the cry of pain from Samuel Bamba. Lienhardt will pick up another yellow card for a Freiburg player. Adamu in the book. To say, understandably so. Frustration from the captain. Been a bit clumsy, but back on his feet. In the final minute of the first 45. Maybe a time for one final chance for either side. He leaves it to Lotka. But seemingly just about keeps it in. And Ruggout knocks it on. Berman in the area. Is it up to Bamba? Let's drag back. The cross is dealt with easily. Damu eased to the floor. As we enter stoppage time. Got going in the first 45. Freiburg, though, showing signs of promise. And here with a close-up, they're producing a real chance of note of the two sides. Dortmund relying on the counter-attack for the most part. We'll hope for more in the second 45. Freiburg will hope for a goal to reward them for their efforts thus far. It would be an important one if they can find it. Hello and welcome back to the Dreisam-Stadion for the second half of this Dritte Liga match between Freiburg 2 and Borussia Dortmund 2. It is the derby of the second teams, the B teams, if you will. It's been a bit lacking in the first half. We will hope for more in half number 2 for Freiburg 2 and Dortmund 2. Seemingly a change has been deemed necessary by Jan Zimmermann to try and make that happen. See Michael Eberwein there warming up. Time will tell who he's set to replace. An experienced head, 27-year-old. No hope for more. And two sets of fans. A chilly night in southwest Germany. There is plenty to play for. Freiburg have to try and start their incredible recovery away from the bottom of the standings if they are to avoid relegation. Dortmund aren't totally safe yet. Good spell before the winter break, moved them away from the bottom four, but as they were 11th coming into the weekend, they have dropped to 12th. They are just 8 points above 17th placed Waldorf. Equally, they can look in the opposite direction. Just 5 points from Sandhausen in fourth with another game in hand after whatever they can achieve this evening. As mentioned during the first half, 9th place is their best finish in the last 20 years. So these Dortmund players can look to push on, achieve something this campaign, starting with a win this evening. To improve on their first half performance, so Freiburg were the better of the two sides. Dortmund looking to counter, but rarely doing so with much purpose. Spoke about dusting off the cobwebs after the winter break. Maybe there's still more housework to do these two sides. There had been a first half goal scored in each of Freiburg's last 6 in a row coming into this game, and at least one first half goal in each of Borussia Dortmund's last 7 away games. Stats are made to be broken though, clearly. Ted Tatamish is the man to make way for Eberwein. Maybe a change of shape with the introduction of Eberwein, who's traditionally a midfielder. We shall see. Once the referee gets us back underway, which he does now, Asad Nuhum blows his whistle to start the second half. Freiburg 2 taking on Dortmund 2 in the final game of matchday 21 of the Dritte Liga. Samuel Bamba looking to get things going immediately. Burst of pace. He was one of the brighter sparks for Dortmund in that quiet first half. Shows some pace down the left wing. Just not quite the end product. Maybe it's the other stats alongside those now defunct first half goal stats that show why we are struggling to break the deadlock here. Freiburg have conceded first in their last 4 games. Dortmund have conceded first in their last 7 away games. Freiburg have lost 6 in a row. Dortmund have won just 1 of their last 5 away games. So Freiburg struggling in general, as we know. Dortmund struggling on the road, and both struggled a touch in the first half. But anything could happen. We have 45 minutes remaining. It could be a goal fest. Anything is possible. Bit of noise as well inside the Dreisam-Stadion. It's the home of the senior Freiburg team for the best part of 70 years, between 1954 and 2021, until the new Europa Park Stadium was built. Quite kept in there, despite the valiant efforts. Philip Farner. Given away, but Mika Bauer couldn't capitalise. Instead, he heads it to a Dortmund player. Lucky bounce. Kindly for Longo Yombo, and it will be a free kick just outside the area. Longo Yombo spinning, and I think it was a genuine attempt at the ball by Julian Stark, but I don't think he got it. Fortunate bounce. And yeah, Longo Yombo putting out his right foot to shield the ball. Receiving a kick from Stark. Real test potentially for Benjamin Uphoff. Maybe a little too close, you could argue, to get it up and over the wall. Not far from where free kick taker would choose to place the ball though. And there are options. Ollie Perlman, Franz Rogau, winner of the free kick, Longo Yombo. Moving away from the ball just yet. Of course, these days with the referee's magic spray, they are more likely to get full 10 metres. Draft excluder being employed by Patrick Lienhardt. It is now just Rogau and Perlman. providing the two options, right-footed or left-footed. Could be either. Very central position. It's Perlman, but it's well over. Freiburg look to get things going quickly, up off taking the goal kick as Dortmund rushed back to their own half. But they are back in possession just as quickly. Hansen puts it in, or perhaps doesn't. It's a turnout. There is Eberwein, clearly in the middle of the park, as one would expect. It might be Ayman Agil. It is indeed, who's dropped back into the right-back position. Tatamish was involved a fair amount down that right wing. Slightly surprised to see him replaced. Change of setup though from Zimmerman. Now though, his team still defending. Hansen into the middle. Doesn't find a teammate, but it's kept alive. Serge Müller has to lift it back in, but it's lacking a little height. Longo Yombo turns. Just about beats Mika Bauer to the ball. And here is Agil. Finds Hetver, but Hetver muscled out. Playing a slightly dangerous game there. Up from Müller. Inside their own 6-yard box with a couple of Dortmund players for company. Here was the effort from Perlman. Nowhere near the level of dip required. Disappointing end to another potential opportunity for Dortmund. A corner for Freiburg. Earns a round of applause from the sidelines. Thomas Stamm. Swiss manager, fairly new to senior management. Corner taken by Lienhardt. Doesn't meet the first man. He might get another opportunity though, still space. That one's better. It's picked up by Serge Müller, centre back. Ball at his feet. Lienhardt, third time, but still not the charm. That'll be a throw. Yes, Thomas Stamm, as early as 2009, as a 26-year-old, worked as a youth coordinator at FC Schaffhausen, parallel to his time as a player. Coach of the FC Winterthur under-18 youth team next up, and then an assistant coach for the Swiss national side's junior teams under 15 and 16. Moved to Freiburg's under-19s before stepping up to the full reserve side a couple of years ago. 3 years ago now, 2021. We are in 2024 after all, as hard as that may be to believe. And his side, good on promise they've shown at times in this game. You have Dortmund pinned back here. Seemingly no consideration of a long throw. Seems to have gone out of fashion a little in football in recent years. Was popularised, particularly by Stoke City in the Premier League. Rory Delap able to throw the ball a frankly ridiculous distance. Played forwards by Rogau. Longo Yombo can't find another player in black. Johansson with space. Inside the third, tries his luck from range. It's straight at Marcel Lotka. Just took a little too long maybe to get it out of his feet there. He's being closed down and rushed the shot slightly. 22-year-old scored back-to-back games in September, but none since. Also picked up his only 2 assists of the season in one game. The 3-2 loss to Jan Regensburg at the start of December. And now, of course, moving clear at the top of the standings. Dynamo Dresden losing this weekend, taking 3 points behind in what is very much a 2-horse race in the table. 7 points from Dynamo in second, down to Ulm in third. Rogal. Agil. Won't be afraid to get up that right wing. He's a more traditional midfielder. Here he is. Picks out Eberwein. His first attempt to put the ball into the box, but he's lacking pace and a bit of direction as well. Semic. But what can he do? So just a little low tempo. Nobody seems willing to take a risk. Ball into the box is a bit more threatening and tricky for Serge Müller to deal with Wellman lingering behind him. It's back from Longo Yombo. Can't do anything with his delivery. Dortmund keeping the ball a little better than they did in the first half. That's a positive. Just yet to do much with it as we tick closer to the hour mark. Freiburg have to go for it. Letting Dortmund just hold on to the ball in their own half, pressing high, maybe conserving energy. But of the two sides, surely at this point they have to go for broke in this campaign. 15 defeats from their first 20 games this season. The one thing you could say for them is they've already been thrashed by the opposition. The only times they've lost by more than 2 goals were a 4-0 loss to Saarbrücken, who knocked Bayern Munich out of the cup, let's not forget, and a 4-1 defeat to Ingolstadt, where they conceded 3 in 6 second-half minutes. Longo Yombo deciding to make it happen himself. Still nothing, though. Both of those 2 heavier losses disappointing. He came on home soil for Freiburg. Defence hasn't been their biggest issue this season. 16th placed Hallischer have actually conceded more goals, 42 to Freiburg's 40. Bigger problem is that they've only scored 16 all season. They've scored one more goal than they've suffered defeat so far. Dortmund snatch one here. He level. Here was that half chance for Alongo Yombo. The ball in the box. It's been a rarity in the first hour of this game. And not quite the connection required to force up off into some real trouble. Muller sends it down the right wing, and it's just not able to get under control by Philipp Farner. Nice idea. Taking the free kick short and trying to release Farner. Scored on the first day of the season, Philipp Farner, 21-year-old, in the draw with Duisburg, which feels a lifetime ago now. Freiburg would have been expecting great things from their season. Got one more as well, the right back in the draw with Borussia Münster. So when he scores, they tend to have done all right, but unfortunately he's only scored twice. Ball from Mika Bauer to Fabian Rudlin, who goes for his third tackle. Did enough on the first two. Eventually was taken control of by Dortmund. Building slowly here, Dortmund. They make something of it. No. Ian Hepfer. This time trying to thread the needle. Only finding Benjamin Uphoff. Farner under some pressure, but to find his keeper comfortably enough. Came through the Dynamo Dresden ranks, Franz Farner. Joined from SV Rodinghausen in 2020, now has over 100 appearances, captain. 29, one of the older members of the Dortmund 2 squad. He's played every game. It's his 20th appearance of the season. Already picked up 5 yellow cards, so served that suspension. Rogout gets it back and shoots straight at Uphoff. Has been the tale of the evening. Rare occasion that either side has managed a shot in anger. Been delivered straight to the gloves of the keeper, both ends. Carelessly laid out for a throw in there. Just side-footed into that bottom corner. Eberwein keeps it alive. Alongo Yombo. Found by Perlman. Cross is high. It's going to be comfortably claimed by Uphoff again. Hansen to Rudlin. Build something here. Laid off by Lienhardt, but it's nicked away. Challenge on Ilongo Yombo. Like it might have been from behind, but the referee was fine with it. Forward is still down. It is kicked out of play, so he can be checked over, sportingly. Just as he gets back to his feet anyway, albeit gingerly. Certainly got a decent amount of the ball, Julian Stark. Chunk of the man as well. No hard feelings between the two. Maybe some more changes in the offing now. Almost 3/4 of the way through the game. It is a traditional start of the substitution window for managers. Had one at half-time. Tetemish making way for Eberwein. Thomas Stamm yet to make his first move, though. Could be an opportunity to introduce some newer names. It's the January transfer window. Still open for a little while yet. Lauren Mack was mentioned earlier as one of the Freiburg keepers. He's become the third departure from SCF in this transfer window after Andres Weyer and Davino Napa. He's gone to Dusseldorf too. But more bad news for the bottom side. Their new signing, Johannes Wirtz, suffered a torn cruciate ligament during training. He'll be out for a long time. Just after joined from FC Honka at the start of the month when the Finnish club went bankrupt. Would have been a valuable new addition to the Freiburg attack. As the Dortmund attack looks to create something here. Left to Samba. It's a better effort. Up off. Able to hold on to it though. Before non-rushing Dortmund attacker could get there. Alman playing it left by Semic. But trying to whip it into the far corner. It wasn't directly at the keeper this time. A little further away, but still close enough. Not to trouble up off overly. It's a real shame for Freiburg. Johannes Wirtz was promoted to the second tier with SV Wiesbaden as captain and a real top performer 7 months ago, last season, before moving to Finland temporarily. Would have been crucial in their attempts to get away from the bottom of the table within a couple of weeks of joining. A long-term injury. Dortmund know all about injury problems this season as well. At one point they had 11 players out. Besson, Butler and Herrera suffered serious injuries within a few days of each other. They're still out and not the only ones. They have reacted to the injury woes. Along with the move of Hendrik Blank and Antonius Papadopoulos to the senior team. The two important members of the Dortmund defence. Dortmund 2 defence, I should say. They've strengthened their own with Antonis Aidonis, wonderfully named Greek-German. He's on the bench, still awaiting a potential debut this evening. 22-year-old centre-back, trained at Stuttgart. Most recently under contract with Aris Thessaloniki in Greece. He's auditioned for Dortmund in the past few weeks and was able to convince them. And Zimmerman said he made a good impression, not just in terms of playing, but his character. He has now been signed up. once play a couple of games for Stuttgart in the Bundesliga and played 11 times second tier. Once again with Dynamo Dresden a couple of seasons back. So a good addition to the Dortmund 2 defence, which in fairness has done its job reasonably well so far and is on course for a clean sheet. How can they do something in attack? Have a corner here. Bauer has been involved in most of Freiburg's attacks. That number 10 role. Lovely feet. Bauer hasn't quite been able to make it happen as yet. Silky player. Teenager, still 19. Another 6 months or so. Corner's in. Cleared at the second time of asking. Lotka practically at the halfway line. Semic to Samba. He's frustrated though, Samuel Bamba. Turning this way and that, waiting for movement. There's just so little of it in and around the area. It's the safe option in the end. Nobody forcing the issue. Here's Bamba breaking away. Space on the right. They do something with it. 3 in the middle. Overlap from Agil, but it's over everyone. Yombo waiting in the middle. Starved of service for the most part tonight. 1 or 2 sniffs of goal. Thomas Stamm, which is on, still yet to make a first change. He's considering it though. Why not? He's on the bench with fresh legs, fresh attitude, fresh ideas. Maybe make something happen. There are 5 available, of course, these days. So no reason to wait, really. It's currently very much not happening. Dortmund make something happen here with a free kick. Again, Rogau and Perlman standing over the ball. No chance for shot this time, and Perlman has left Franz Rogau to it. It'll be an outswinger into a decent area. It drops. It is fired wide. The makeshift right back, Ayman Agil. Just over the head. The nearest player fell invitingly for the volley. Difficult technique. Managed to keep it low, but dragged it to the left of goal. Again, space on that right-hand side. Julian Hepver changes direction, breaks kindly for Eberwein, and it nearly is flicked in by the back heel of Elongo Yombo. You can't believe it. Talked about him getting a sniff of goal. It was good improvisation. I'm not sure the Dortmund player actually had the final touch. Or maybe it was Eberwein. Good improvisation from Elongo Yombo. Again, drifting wide. Still, Thomas Stamm doesn't blink. There are 2 changes to be made for Dortmund. On comes Moses Otuali, number 9. They could use a number 9-like influence. And a number 10 one. hopefully from Valko Mikkel. Julian Hetver, that was his final involvement, as it was for Samuel Bamba. Looked like he might be a live wire, but didn't really come alive. This has been the case for many. Referee tried to let that play out, but clearly no chance of an advantage. First involvement for Mikkel is to attempt the back heel, but give away a free kick, and there is our first change for Freiburg. Off comes Lienhardt, being passed off the armband, and Ryan Nils Johansson as well. In his place is Warner. And Ambros, Lucas Ambros, the Czech teenager, joined from Wolfsburg in the summer. He has about a quarter of an hour to make a point to his manager about why he should have started, as does Marco Warner. Another youngster, another teenager in midfield. Provide the spark required in the final 15 minutes to kick this game into gear. Taken on immediately by Ambros, who drives forwards. Adamu couldn't quite get it under control. Can just about keep it in. He was always likely to give it away in the process. Nearly given away as well. Simic getting there just in time. Again, throwing his weight around is Valko Mikkel, eagerly this time. Agil. It's cross blocked. Try and stop Freiburg getting out. Let's win it back. Mongo Yombo. Ease it back. Bellman only finds the referee. Now to get things going with a drop ball. Battling for it, but ultimately give it away. Attempted back kill from Adamu. It's nowhere near to coming off. Started so brightly, Junior Adamu. There's been another to fizzle out over the course of the game. Shot from range is sliced, I think, out even for a throw-in from Mongo Yombo. Sends it towards Damu. It's cut out, but it will be a free kick for Freiburg. Much to the frustration of Dortmund, who have grown into this second half. They are still lacking in clear-cut chances, and the final ball have improved compared to the first. Freiburg inside their shells a little. Maybe they'll settle for the 0-0 here. Freiburg saying about every game being a must-win. It's given away carelessly by Agil. Ambros So his pass cut out, but it's still with Freiburg here. Mika Bauer fires it in. Ambros lays it up, comes back to Ambros. Lays it out left. Ambros again, but beaten to the ball by Marcel Lotka. Smart goalkeeping quickly off his line. Wadi Al-Gadioui set to come on. It's 1 on 4 yellows, so to be careful of a 5th and a suspension. It's going to be an issue for Franz Fanat. It'll be a second double change, that is Junior Adamu's race officially run. 45 on the board. Also comes Pascal Fallmann. Gadioui, 32-year-old, senior member of the squad. And confirmation, Alexander Lungwitz also making way. He was another who burnt quite brightly early on. Been fairly anonymous in the second half as Freiburg fell backwards. Going back to that point, maybe they will settle for a goalless draw here. At least stop the rot. Those 6 consecutive defeats. Also keep a clean sheet. The first time in a very long time. Failed to have done so in their last 10 games. The feather in the cap of Benjamin Uphoff as he returns to the Freiburg goal. Around about 10 minutes left for either side to deny the other a clean sheet. Leon Semic looks to run onto it, curls away from him. He's dealt with by Fana. Playing against his former side. Former Dortmund 2 player. Ambros. Sliced wide again. Just a bit of space on the edge of the area. That's all it will take. Nobody able to punish it when they're offered it up. Gadioui, 33 appearances, impressive 19 goals in one season with Dortmund 2. He'll be looking to return and haunt his former side as Justin Butler receives some final preparations from Jan Zimmerman. Inside. Rajil trying to find Otuali. Ambros. The overlap. It's promising, but dealt with. Pascal Fallmann. To get involved down that right wing. Presumably we will now see the entrance of Justin Butler. And also Frankie Bouabari final change for Freiburg. He waited and waited, Thomas Stamm, but he's now made all 5 changes in the space of about 10 minutes. See if it's Philipp Warner making his way off, clearly carrying a knock there, just picked up. His battle for the ball, having switched over to the left back now with indeed, Warner does make way. Yes, with Kalman having taken up the right back spot, as we saw from that bombing run down the wing. It's Bauer on corner duty. It's allowed to bounce in the box. Drops. I think that was Valman. Struck it on his left. Bari is traditionally a centre-back. See if he's slotted into the left-back role that Fana has vacated, or if they've shuffled again. Here's Justin Butler, who replaces Longo Yombo. He tried, huffed and puffed, but never blew down Freiburg's defences. Justin Butler, born in Germany, also eligible to represent the United States. He's previously taken part in a training camp with the US under-18 team. Last season on loan at Waldorf, but now with Dortmund 2. He's found the back of the net. Used somewhat sparingly by Jan Zimmerman. Play himself thoroughly into his thoughts. He can grab a late winner here in his 12th appearance. First one for a long time. But ambitions of getting into the Dortmund senior side hasn't been in either squad for a couple of months. So into the final 2 minutes of the scheduled 90. Benjamin Uphoff sending the ball long. As Freiburg a little short on ideas, because Ambros has been lively since coming on. Let's see who wins the free kick here. Now, can they make something of this? Snatch the 3 points at the death. Can that man, Wadi El-Kadioui, return to haunt Dortmund 7 years after he left? Certainly got the height for it. 1.9 metres tall, El-Kadioui. 6'3" for those of you working in Imperial. He's dummied by Ambros. Mika Bauer lifts it in. It's headed away for a throw. Now or never for both of these sides into the 90th minute. Not in a particular hurry to get things going. Francis Bouabari, I should say. French defender. rare outing. Knocked down by Otuali. Who commendably stays alive and wins it back. Now belts towards the area. It's headed on. Up into the air. Bauer leaves it. And Semic picks it up. Play on, says the referee. Otuali. Agil. Into the danger area. Free kick goes the way of Freiburg. Just wondered for a second as the two collided. It wasn't totally obvious who was at fault. We were going to have the late drama of a penalty. Now Julian Stark was on the receiving end of the foul. In the opinion of the referee. Two players genuinely going for the ball. So Benjamin Uphoff. What could be the final, let's say, goal kick, free kick from within his area. That is, unless it comes back straight at him, as it has done. Otuali doesn't get the decision. It will be a Freiburg throw. Joel Bichtel, who's done all that could be asked of him in defence in the last 90 minutes or so. Valman nicks the ball away from Falco Mikkel. Towards Al Gadoui. Now wins it, but gives away a free kick. Leaves his innocence. But Franz Orgau still on a heap in the floor. In a heap on the floor, I should say. Bauer certainly got his head to the ball. Promising at times, Mika Bauer, but really made it happen. Still hasn't scored this season in 16 appearances now. Scored 2 in his 4 appearances for the German under-18s. Plenty of sporting heritage in his family. Son of a handball player, Marcus Bauer. Stam having a word with the referee, maybe about that most recent decision, whatever it was. Found it a little amusing. Well, it seems a yellow card has been handed out to a member of the Freiburg technical staff. Not making any friends in the southwest this evening. Here we go. Into the 94th minute. Free kick sent forwards, but not into the area. Headed away by Buabari. Agil with the throw. Maybe time for one more chance. Or not. And that is how this evening has gone in Freiburg. Goalless at the final whistle. Commentators curse early on. Spoke about expecting goals from two teams that have produced 32 of them in their last 5 games, but none on the night. Freiburg at least stopped the rot. Their run of 6 consecutive losses in the Dritte Liga comes to an end. Pick up their first point in a couple of months. It won't move them particularly closer to Duisburg, though. Still 6 points behind the 19th place side. One more point for Dortmund sees them move up into the top half. They will jump above Borussia Münster and Unterhaching with another point, but it was a game that fizzled at best, but never really kicked into gear. These two sides return from the winter break, a little foggy maybe. They'll hope for more next time, as will we. Borussia Liga will return next weekend, match day 22. And one would imagine a fair bit more action than we saw this evening.